What is up, Budget Billers? My name is Trell and we have some breaking news out of Washington. The U.S. military performed a raid on Thursday of the head ISIS leader in Syria, in which the ISIS leader was killed. I have some footage of the message from President Biden in which he called out the former ISIS leader and any other future leaders that want to cause harm to Americans. Now, in addition to that, guys, hey, we also have information regarding more stimulus aid from the Biden administration. But before that happens, guys, hey, the Democrats and the Republicans are right now working towards a potential deal to avoid a government shutdown. And lastly, guys, hey, we have 4 states that have recently proposed to offer stimulus relief aid to its residents. And I'm going to share with you those states and when you can expect to receive those stimulus checks. Now, if you're interested in any of those topics today and you want to be a part of this channel, be so kind and go ahead and subscribe to it. It's totally free. And if you end up liking today's video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel. Now, let's go ahead and get into this video. Alright guys, real quick, I wanted to ask you for your support on my new YouTube channel that we'll be launching sometime this month. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, guys, so help a brother out, okay? Now, this channel is going to be called Budget Bill Finance, and I am going to be talking about how to grow your wealth, how to invest in stocks, as well as how to invest in real estate. And I'm going to be showing you guys exactly what I'm doing outside of YouTube. So, if you want to be a part of that channel, be so kind and go ahead and subscribe to it today. I hope to see you guys there. Now, that link will be down below in the description. Early Thursday morning, hey, the United States military performed a raid on the ISIS leader in Syria. Right here in this article, it says that inside the U.S. raid that killed the ISIS leader, incredibly complex, which was on the same scale as the killing of Osama bin Laden. Yes, guys, the United States Special Operations Counterterrorism Mission in northwest Syria on Thursday killed the ISIS leader, Abu Abdurrahman al-Shimini, whatever that is. But this mission was on the same scale and level as the U.S. operations was taken on killing Osama bin Laden back in 2011, according to a senior administration officials. Now, the U.S. military forces on Thursday successfully moved on into the global leader of ISIS, also known as Haji Abdullah, which President Biden said on Thursday. And guys, I do have some footage of what President Biden had to say about this mission and how they killed the ISIS leader. Take a look.
The United States counterterrorism operation killed al-Baghdadi. Since then, ISIS has directed terrorist operations targeting Americans, our allies and our partners, and countless civilians in the Middle East, Africa, and in South Asia. Haji Abdullah oversaw the spread of ISIS-affiliated terrorist groups around the world after savaging communities and murdering innocents. He was responsible for the recent brutal attack on a prison in northeast Syria holding ISIS fighters, which was swiftly addressed by our brave partners in the Syrian Democratic Forces. He was the driving force behind the genocide of the Yazidi people in northwestern Iraq in 2014. We all remember the gut-wrenching stories, mass slaughters that wiped out entire villages, thousands of women and young girls sold into slavery, rape used as a weapon of war. And thanks to the bravery of our troops, this horrible terrorist leader is no more. Our forces carried out the operation with their signature preparation and precision, and I directed the Department of Defense to take every precaution possible to minimize civilian casualties. Knowing that this terrorist had chosen to surround himself with families, including children, we made a choice to pursue a special forces raid at a much greater risk than to our own people, rather than targeting him with an airstrike. We made this choice to minimize civilian casualties. Our team is still compiling the report, but we do know that as our troops approach to capture the terrorist, in a final act of desperate cowardness, he, with no regard to the lives of his own family or others in the building, he chose to blow himself up, not just to the vest, but to blow up that 3rd floor, rather than face justice for the crimes he has committed, taking several members of his family with him, just as his predecessor did. I'm grateful for the immense courage and skill and determination of our U.S. forces, who skillfully executed this incredibly challenging mission. The members of our military are the solid steel backbone of this nation. We're also aided by the essential partnership of the Syrian Democratic Forces. I want to commend our dedicated intelligence community, the Department of Defense, and members of our national security team throughout the government, whose meticulous and tireless work over the course of many months ensured that this mission succeeded. This operation is testament to America's reach and capability to take out terrorist threats no matter where they try to hide anywhere in the world. I'm determined to protect the American people from terrorist threats, and I'll take decisive action to protect this country. And we'll continue working with our close allies and partners, the Syrian Democratic Forces, the Iraqi security forces, including the Kurdish Peshmerga, and more than 80 members of the global coalition to keep pressure on ISIS to protect our homeland. Last night's operation took a major terrorist leader off the battlefield, and it sent a strong message to terrorists around the world. We will come after you and find you. Once again, today, we continue our unceasing effort to keep the American people safe and to strengthen the security of our allies and partners around the world. I want to thank you all, and may God bless you, and may God protect our troops.
There it is, guys. Hey, the breaking news from President Biden in regards to the killing of the top leader of ISIS. Now, in addition to that, hey, Biden mentioned in that video that in the future, if there are any new ISIS leaders that want to target the United States, he said, if so, we will hunt you down and kill you as well. So a very stark message to those out there who want to cause harm to Americans. Now, that brings us directly to the fact that the U.S. is sending troops to Ukraine right now in an effort to deter Russia from invading. Right now, Russia continues to place their soldiers at the border with military vehicles, and Ukraine being our ally, the U.S. is preparing for war in case something pops off. Now, in other news, guys, hey, we could start seeing more stimulus funding available from the United States. So far, each state has received about $1 billion, and some states have even received more than that. And as a result, we have been seeing multiple states and cities offering its own stimulus checks to its residents. But we could start seeing stimulus aid provided by the Biden administration as well. The Democrats and the GOP are right now inching closer to potentially getting a deal on the table in order to fund the government and in turn be able to avert another government shutdown. Now, that particular deadline to make this all happen needs to be done by February the 18th. But in addition to that, guys, hey, this article also talks about lawmakers are facing a February 18th deadline and some hope in order to tack on the measure of new stimulus aid in response to the coronavirus pandemic. Yes, guys, top Democratic and Republicans inched forward Wednesday in pursuit of a deal that could fund the federal government for the remainder of the fiscal year, hoping to stave off a government shutdown while potentially pumping new spending into things like healthcare, education, science, as well as U.S. defense. Now, the continued negotiations mark the second consecutive day of developments on Capitol Hill, as lawmakers who oversee the federal purse increasingly have come to express measure of confidence that they can actually get this done before the upcoming February 18th deadline, as well as to overcome months of prior political disputes as well as the delays. Now, since President Biden took office, the United States government has operated under short-term measures that sustain key federal agencies as well as programs largely at their existing spending levels. Now, the stopgaps have kept the government running, but they have also delayed Democrats from delivering on some of the White House's top priorities, from expanding affordable housing to confronting the climate change in this country. And if we scroll a little bit further, we see a message from the Senate Minority Leader, Mitch McConnell, and he stated that, he said, let's start the discussion by talking about repurposing the hundreds of billions of dollars already sitting in the pipeline. Now, these particular promises and plateaus nonetheless amounted to noteworthy progress on Capitol Hill, which is a place where partisan disagreements these days have come to transform all but the most basic debates into intractable conflicts between the Republicans as well as the Democrats. But twice in the recent months, the appropriations process has nearly brought federal agencies to a screeching halt, threatening to shut down the government and hamstring the country's response to the pandemic. But Republicans at the end of last year even held up a swift resolution to funding fight to launch an ill-fated political campaign against Biden's vaccination, as well as the testing mandates that have been targeting businesses in this country. But the Supreme Court later struck down some of the administration's policies in regards to the vaccine mandate. But overall, guys, hey, we have the Republicans as well as the Democrats in a meeting on Capitol Hill right now in negotiation process in which they are trying to come to a resolution in order to avert a government shutdown. And they have to get this done by the deadline of February the 18th. But it does look very promising because both parties and both sides of the aisle are actually willing to work with one another. And this is some good news going forward, because if they are able to successfully prevent the government from shutting down, they are also trying to tack on additional stimulus relief aid to this particular bill, because they are going to be using that money to provide coronavirus stimulus relief aid to the American people, which in turn could be the promising efforts of another stimulus check or even reoccurring stimulus checks. So again, guys, hey, this is some good news right now, and we are hopes that they're going to be able to get this thing done before the deadline, because we all know what's going to happen if they are unsuccessful with passing legislation and a new bill that is going to provide some additional income for the Biden administration as well as the government to operate further along. But again, guys, this is some breaking news again, and we are going to provide more updates as I receive those. Now, moving forward, guys, hey, we do have some good news, and that is because we have a potential of 4 new stimulus checks that could be provided in 4 different states. Now, we have in this article on Forbes.com in which governors in these particular states want to give their residents cash thanks to unexpected budget surpluses. Now, the article talks about the growing tax revenue has led several states to consider giving hundreds of dollars back to most residents this year, while other states will dole out their surplus funds through automatic tax rebates. Here are the states that could respond to unexpected budget windfalls by handing out cash to the American people. State number 1, guys, is Wisconsin. The governor, Tony Evers, announced a plan on Thursday to disperse $150 to every resident out of the state's unexpected high budget surplus, though it wasn't immediately clear if the state's GOP-controlled legislature will back this particular plan. So, guys, this could be a potential of a $150 stimulus check for those residents that live in Wisconsin. Now, in addition to that, guys, we have the neighboring Minnesota. Yes, Governor Tim Walz, which is a Democrat, has proposed sending up to $350 to every taxpayer earning $164,000 or less, while giving frontline workers who remain on the jobs during the past year an additional $1,500 stimulus check. This is a lot of money, guys. We haven't yet to see this type of money being provided on a one-time basis, but the governor in Minnesota is proposing a $1,500 stimulus check. And then we have the third state on the list, guys, which is Georgia. The governor, Brian Kemp, which is a Republican, wants to use the state's budget surplus to give out $250 in tax refunds to single filers and an additional $500 to joint filers. And we have the fourth state, which is Kansas. Now, the governor, Laura Kelly, said last month that the state should send $250 back to all single filers who filled out a tax return in 2021, while joint filers getting $500. But leaders of the GOP-controlled Kansas legislature have expressed skepticism of the governor's intentions since she up for re-election this year. And then we have a fifth state, which I misrepresented this in the title, guys. We have 5 states in this video. But yes, guys, in Idaho, which has nearly $2 billion projected surplus, lawmakers in the state house last week overwhelmingly approved of a sweeping tax cut bill that giving each resident either $75 or a rebate equal to 12% of their 2020 state income tax bill, whichever is the greater amount. So again, guys, hey, these are 5 states that want to do something in 2022. They want to use their large surplus that they have accrued over the past year, and they want to be able to give some of that money out to its residents in the state. Now, this is some good news, guys, because we are continuously seeing more and more states as well as cities offering additional stimulus relief aid to its residents. So again, guys, this is some great news, and we hope to see individual states as well as other cities offering additional stimulus relief aid as well. And on top of that, we hope to see the Biden administration be able to offer another 4th stimulus check to the American people. Again, guys, hey, I hope all of this information was helpful to you today. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. Now, if you enjoyed this type of content and you want to see more, hey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like this video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.